Things got scary when you realized our rescue wouldn't unfold the way rescues did in the after-school movies we watched on TV. It would not be our dad who threw us over his shoulder like Hercules and carry us to safety. If anyone in if anyone, it would have to be Craig, who would eventually tower over my dad, but was then still a narrow-shouldered, spindle-legged boy who seemed to understand that any heroic on his part would require practice, which is why during our family fire drills he started thinking of the worst case scenarios, ordering ordering my dad to the floor, instructing him to lie there, limp and heavy as a sack, as if he'd passed out from smoke inhalation. "Oh, good Lord," Dad would say, shaking his head. "You're really going to do this?" My dad was not used being helpless. He took care of everything on his own, carefully looking after our car, paid the bills on time, never discussing his advancing multiple sclerosis, nor missing a day of work. My dad loved to be the rock for others. What he couldn't do vicious, physically, he made up for with guidance and support, which is why he enjoyed his work as a precinct captain for that city's Democratic Party. My dad loved the job, which baffled my mom, given the amount of time it demanded. He paid weekend visits to a nearby neighborhood, often dragging me along. We'd park the car and walk from house to house, landing on a doorstep to find a hunched-over widow or a big-bellied factory worker with a can of beer peering through the screen door. Often these people were delighted by the sight of my dad, smiling broadly on their porch, propped up by his cane. "Well, Fraser," they'd say, "what a surprise! Get on in here." For me, this was never good news. It meant we were going inside. It meant that my whole Saturday afternoon would now get sucked up as I got parked on a musty sofa or with a 7-Up at a kitchen table while my dad fielded complaints that he'd then pass on to an elected official. When somebody had problems with garbage pickup or snow plowing or was irritated by a pot, pothole, my dad was there to listen. His purpose was to help people feel cared for by the Democrats and to vote accordingly when elections rolled around. To my dismay, he never rushed anyone along. Time as far as my dad was concerned was a gift you gave to other people. He clucked approvingly at pictures of cute grandkids, patiently endured gossip and talk of people's health, who woos and nodded knowingly at stories about how money was tight. He hugged the old the old ladies as we finally left their houses, assuring them he'd do he'd do his best to get the fixable issues fixed. My dad had faith in his own ability to be useful. It was a point of pride, which is why at home during our fire drills he had little interest in being a passive prop, even in a, a pretend crisis. He had no intention, under any circumstance, of winding up the the unconscious guy on the floor, but still some part of him seemed to understand that this mattered to us, to Craig in particular. When we asked him to lie down, he'd humor us, dropping first to his knees and then to his butt, then spreading himself out bawlingly face up on the living room carpet. He'd exchange glances with my mom, who found it all a little funny, as if to say, "These darn kids." With a sigh, he'd close his eyes, waiting to feel Craig's hands hook themselves solidly beneath his shoulders to start the rescue operation. My mom and I would then watch us with no small amount of effort and a good deal of awkwardness. My brother managed to drag our 170-pound dad backward through the emergency fire, hauling him across the floor, surrounding the couch, and finally making it to the stairwell.